Happy holidays! Well, if you're like me, you're probably going to a lot of holiday parties this time of year. I'm going to show you the exact makeup that I have worn to numerous parties, and I'm doing it again tonight. It's my usual now. So I'm starting out with moisturizer. The one I'm using is Stripes Do As I Do. You can find this at Sephora. You always want to start out with some nice hydrated skin. Even if you've already done your entire skincare routine, throw on some more moisturizer. This time of year, can't hurt. Now here's what I'm doing that's crazy or lazy. I am completely foregoing foundation. I can never seem to find foundation that matches my skin. And honestly, getting close to 60 now, foundation really doesn't do me any favors. So I'm skipping it. Also, this year, coming up, 2025, we're no longer doing the super bright under eye. We're going to do a not as bright under eye. I am using a NARS Cream Color Corrector. Now, it does not match my skin exactly, but I find that it works fairly well. Now, if I were going like to brunch in midday in bright sun, this would never work because you'd go, I can see the color difference. At night in a party, you're never going to notice it. Then I add a little concealer. Any place where I've got redness, which is always around my nose. Again, I'm using a NARS cream concealer. I'm using this one in Canel. This is a Sigma Precision Flat Angled brush, which I seem to really be liking for concealer lately. There is my foundation. You can use a cream blush or a powder blush. Honestly, I like powder blush on me more, but I think most of you are going to prefer to use some sort of a cream blush. My skin is still a little on the oily side, so. Now, a couple of things to do with powder. If you like powder, you can omit powder entirely. I like the finish I get from a little powder. Now, I will use a NARS completely sheer. This is their light reflecting powder. I'll use that sometimes, but sometimes if I want just a hint of color to my complexion, I'll use their Shore. This one's a loose powder, and I like it for this use. It gives me just a little warmth all over my face, which I think we can all agree in the winter months, we need a little warmth. So I will pop my brush in there, tap that powder down in, and then I know it's not much, but it's just that little tiny bit of color. I like a nice pinky peachy blush. My favorite one is NARS Orgasm. It's this right here. But I'm sure you have a favorite blush of your own. Grab your favorite pinky blush. I microbladed my eyebrows several years ago. I'm not crazy about it. They faded to a red tone. So I fill them in with powder rather than a pencil because it fills them in a little bit more. But if you prefer pencil, go ahead and do pencil. I don't even I'm using an eyeshadow that I like. It's in the Naturally Pretty palette, which you can see I've had for a long time. And it's almost out of this one color. But I like to go in for this very, very, I'm not sure you can see this. It's a very, very soft, almost nothing, just a whisper of color. But I find that it's enough. I like to get a close-up mirror when I go in on the brows a little bit. And I personally like to start on the arch. I like to start on the arch and then work out. Yeah, I have to close one eye to see. How about you? I'm going to do this sort of taupe color right here. This is my Visage Neutral palette. Just a nice, soft taupe on the lid. Just to give that eye some depth. Always the hard part, getting them to match. And I never, ever am able to do it. I'm sure many of you are able to get them perfect, but I have never been able to master that skill. I'm going to take a lighter brush, more of a softer brush. Where are you? There you are, Letty. A little bit of that same color, a lot softer, just a little higher up. Just to bring that up a little bit, but not so opaque. Never the same. That's why this one's now getting a little more. Close enough. This is a dark brown Hooked on Espresso by Milani. Another thing I can't do with this eye is the liner. That's why I go with a pencil rather than a liquid, because it's tougher as you get older. And then I'll give that just a little smudge. As I'm getting older, I'm finding a little smudged line is kinder than a harsh line. This is completely optional. I like a tight line. Up to you. Give the lashes a quick curl. Going with Thrive Liquid Lash Extensions. I really like the way this mascara, because it's a tubing mascara, I like the way it washes off at the end of the night. I am not a person who likes under the eye mascara. Just a personal preference for me. If you like under eye mascara, wait a few minutes and then do that. We all have our own little picadillos that are just our own little idiosyncrasies. Going to go with a Candy Apple Red lip liner. This is by Palladio. Semi-even, is Chanel number 22 Rouge Star. Gonna have to get myself a new one of these days. I like to let the red set up on my lips for a couple of minutes and then blot it, so it's not quite so harsh. I like it a little worn down. Now let's get to the hair. I love to wear a Santa hat for a number of reasons. It's festive, it keeps my head warm, and I look adorable when I wear one. So you can too. I love to wear a Santa hat. My favorite thing about Christmas, because it's just cute. You don't have a lot of options in life at this age when you can look absolutely adorable, so take it. And fortunately, with wearing a hat, you really don't have to do a whole lot of work with your hair. I'm just working at giving the ends a little shape. Definitely going to have to get my hair cut soon. I've been letting it grow for the wedding because I wanted to have long hair for the wedding. And now that I have done so, it's time for it to get a little chop again. But it was nice having long hair for the first time in my life. In my entire life, this is the longest my hair has ever been without extensions. But I have found that as it gets longer, it just doesn't hold a curl. And the more often I have to curl it to make it look good, the more it's turning yellow. And then people think I'm a blonde, and I'm not a blonde. I have gray hair. I earned every one of these white hairs. I don't want people thinking they're blonde. And that's it. That's all the curling I do. That's it. Just needs a little curl on the ends. And now, it breaks my heart. My old Santa hat, which I pinned a flower on because it ups the adorability factor, has gotten a little grubby over the last few years. I think I'm still going to wear it tonight because it's got the longer fur, and I like the longer fur. But unfortunately, when you wash the longer fur, it doesn't come out looking the same. And the new hats that you seem to find, it's just not quite as lush. So I think I'm going to go with, oh, let's get a little hairspray first. I would love to say, oh, I can guarantee if you do blah, 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 you're going to have no hat head. You're going to have hat head. Anytime you wear a hat, you're going to have hat head. Leave it on. Leave the hat on. That's what I intend to do. And if not, bend over and give it a fluff and it'll be fine. Or do I do it this side? There we go. I'm going to go to my next Christmas party. I hope you have fun at all of your holiday festivities, and an easy glam. Doesn't have to be a lot of coverage. You can go with bare skin, and I think it's a little more flattering as we age, but up to you. Some people, for years, I couldn't go out without foundation, so now that I feel comfortable at age 59 to go out without foundation, that's a big deal for me. But you may have other opinions. You may not feel finished without foundation. And if you want to wear foundation, then you absolutely should. Everything that I do, you should adjust to your own taste so that you make yourself happy. Because I'm not necessarily right. I just do what I like to do. And you should do what you like to do. I love you bunches. I hope you have a wonderful holiday season. Merry Christmas, and I will talk to you very soon.